Hello, welcome to my review of PlainAndy. And to go ahead and show you, this is the latest version, and in fact, later on in this video I'll show you the enrollment installer to install this latest version. This is the October 25th version. I haven't really got a whole lot of chance to play around with it. However, if you check the changelog, it looks like it's mostly just bug fixes. One thing that's not fixed though is GPS, and yes, there is some information in the forums on how to fix GPS. However, I'm talking to you as somebody who tests these ROMs as daily drivers, and as such, I'm thinking that the average user doesn't want to spend a whole lot of time having to troubleshoot their phone. So just know that for the D800, you can see plain D800 down here at the bottom does not work actually doesn't work at all. I'll show you. And it's still waiting, and it won't ever pull up. Anyways, so that's really the biggest gripe I have. Anything else we'll discuss later on. But this is PlainAndy, and as the name implies, this is a very simple ROM. Very few customizations here, which is a good thing. Okay, and hear me out. It is a good thing because there's less to go wrong. Okay, so here we go to your device options. You got double tap to wake here. That's it. There is no menus that slide out from side to side there. Okay, and you do have the CyanogenMod theme pack, which is nice. I'm glad they included this in here. And I did test some themes, as you can see here, and they work well. Now, one thing about this ROM, because it's so quote-unquote plain, it is extremely fast. Okay, you definitely notice the speed, and I am using the Google Now launcher. Here you go, volume. Live volume steps. This is nice because you can adjust this, and I did. Ringtones, vibrate, ring, setting ringtones. These are all your standard affair settings, exception of steps. And going through here, and again, you got your pulse light notification enabler here. You got the dynamic navigation bar. This is new. Alright, so let's just enable, and you saw it change there, you saw it change up there, okay? It is going to blend. Let's go back over here. There you go. Very nice addition. I was actually surprised to see it make it in here because, again, the idea behind this ROM is less is more. So that's nice, and you discovered it with me on this video review. System bar granulate, and then of course darker status bar. Storage, nothing to see there. Battery, there's no battery saver here or anything like that. Please ignore this. I'm doing a lot of ROM reviews today, or a couple of ROM reviews today and a couple of videos today, so ignore that battery life. Going through here, you got your location again. It's not working. You can see it's got high accuracy turned on. Security settings, not a whole lot here. You do get your blacklist. Battery around the lock ring is located here, which is kind of interesting, but I guess because they're looping in your security settings with your lock screen. Input and language, again, nothing special here. And the rest of this, again, is just your what you've come to expect. Now you got your app ops down here. Okay, so that's nice to have built into the ROM. Date and time, nothing special there. Super users in the settings here. Developer options, and this is on Dalvik. Is on Dalvik, and that's pretty much what you get. So really quick, what I wanted to do is show you the installation process for PlainAndy during this review. It does use an enrollment installer. It is from the developer Snoozo. Hopefully I'm saying his name correctly, and this is the 1025 build. If you're going from an older build, you would just want to wipe the Dalvik and wipe the cache. I'm not sure in that order. Okay. Let's see. Don't ever write current tweaks. This option will skip plain tweak configuration in your current configuration intact. Let's see here what you got. Okay, so you can choose from gamer, battery saver, all around, super smooth, kernel defaults. So, you know, let's just do this right here. Okay. Okay. So that's new. You have the browser, calculator, calendar, email app, and we'll leave. I got file manager already. Enable boot animation. Click next. There we go. So this is an aroma installer. We'll let it go ahead and do its thing and install. but it's just that easy. So, and each variant has its own aroma installer. It's not like some of the other aroma installers where all variants are looped into one. Here we go, we got your battery drain test. So we're 8 hours, 45 minutes, 37 seconds off the charger. We got 19% battery life here. You can see the chart down here, wake and screen on. It's pretty close to consistent there, Wi-Fi on the entire time. No charging as you can see, and we have 3 hours and 42 minutes of screen on time, and again we still had 19% left. 14, that's day one. 14 hours, 11 minutes off the charger. We still have 15% battery life left, and you can see we got a little bit better when it comes to the wake locks. 3 hours and 49 minutes of screen on time, so we're pretty consistent there. And I'm just showing you this is with 1 hour and 6 minutes of Clash of Clans, so easily drained down the battery. In average use, I'm expecting at least an easier another hour. I did have some email problems. This comes up, it crashes, you reopen it, no problem. Pretty good there. That's the only problem I really had as far as crashing goes. Here you go, another battery drain test. 13 hours, 1 minute off the charger, 3 hours of screen on time, and we still have, oh, I didn't have it set for just showing me the percentage, but we still have some battery life there left. 16 hours, 29 minutes off the charger, 54% left there. And we have 3 hours and 1 minute of screen on time. And again, you can see lots of Clash of Clans, some reboots as I'm troubleshooting and playing around with the ROM. 2 hours and 9 minutes of screen on time. That was a lot of Clash of Clans. But you get the idea. Overall, very fluid, very smooth. One thing to say about this ROM is if the developer was going for as close as you can get to stock Android with a few very select customizations and an overall very speedy experience, he accomplished it, and he accomplished it very well. Let me go ahead and start an AT&T benchmark for you right here. And while that's going, we'll talk about the forms right quick, or about the ROM, I'm sorry, right quick, and then we'll talk about the forms. A2DP, it worked well. It worked the first time every time. However, it did not allow my Ford Touch to do the text messaging through the head unit. So that was kind of a disappointment. It would not. I kept trying and just could not get it to work. So that was a disappointment, kind of frustrating, but it did stream audio no problem, and it did sync first time every time. And with Kia Uvo, it also synced without issue and did function with A2DP. Free RAM, you're looking at about a gig. After reboot, sometimes it's 1.1, 1.2 gigs. Again, unused RAM is wasted RAM, and I understand that, but there are those who care and do ask. There are some things I did with this ROM when I was playing around with it, like I did install Exposed and some modules. Those are recently disabled because I just flashed, and I'll show you myself flashing the update. So all my little aroma things that you saw go through the as I was going through the settings there, or I'm sorry, through the benchmarks there, you probably saw a couple times where the status bar changed. That's me playing with Exposed. There are some things that I like in Exposed. And I did have to use NILS NILS app to get my lock screen notifications. So small nuisance, but again, the idea behind this ROM is to keep it clean, and so for somebody who wants that, it is great. Art versus Dalvik, I went to change this to Art and I couldn't get my email to work at all. I'm not sure if that's actually the ROM's fault or the email application, because I had that problem on another ROM recently. So I did switch back to Dalvik, not a big deal. Again, GPS is not working. Quiet mode, did not recall testing quiet mode. Other than that, if you're looking at the forms, in the forms we are at 533 posts. So this ROM is fairly new, and there's not a whole lot of activity in there as far as people using it. The biggest thing you'll see, and if you can just search it for GPS, you'll see there's little fixes that people are throwing in there. And it is fixable, so keep that in mind. It is fixable. It depends on how much work you want to do to get it fixed. While that's finishing up, one more or a couple more things. You do not get the option to make any changes to your navigation bar, to disable it or to use PI. You have to use exposed and modules for that. I did find that to be a little annoying, as I do like to move my back button over to the right side of the screen, because I do find myself using my phone more with my right hand, and so I find it more convenient to be able to go back on that left side instead of having to traverse my thumb across the other side. An awkward motion. I know, get a smaller phone, but I happen to really enjoy the screen size and the form factor on this phone, so that's just my gripe. Here we go. Oh, look at that. And 2-2 crashed. Let's see if it actually stored the last score, though. Other than that, immersive mode or expand desktop didn't work. There you go, 33,645. Alright. And device info here for you. There you go. In case you were curious. All works. And again, as you see down here, you don't get the option to, again, move these around. And then I'm going to show you one more thing here. Immersive mode. I turn it on. Oh, the update fixed it. So if you are flashing the newest version, immersive mode works. You don't get the option to enable the status bar, but there you go, immersive mode works. So that's very nice. I do like that. And something else I noticed here is they did do the 5 across. And if you read through the forums, you'll see that's one of the things that Snoozo wanted to do, that he put in there. And oh, by the way, screen record does work on this ROM. So overall, it's a very positive ROM. I'm going to conclude it by showing you how to, and you do get heads up. I'm going to conclude this video by showing you how to install it. As always, if you have questions, please ask. If you're in the forums, please search. It's probably been asked before, although, because the new version just came out, there might be some new things that are posted in there that you don't already have an answer to. Thanks again. I hope you found this video useful. I did enjoy this ROM, and if you are looking for as close to a stock Android experience with a very few, very stable customizations thrown in, check out PlainAndy. Alright, real quick, we're going to do a power on test. Here we go. We've started the clock. We'll let that run. Okay. If you want to change the DPI in this ROM, please use TextDroider. It's in the Play Store, TEX Droider, and all one word. Because you're not going to find it in settings. You're not going to be able to change your DPI in settings. And there you go. So 22 seconds, it seemed, is the winner there.